Hello and welcome to this first part of the quantitative lab. And as you can see here in the instructions, we have different things that we need to do. Remember that the lab consists of just following what I am doing. And in the end, you should just submit the report that is just answering to all of these questions. So we'll start with the first step, which is to codify the original data set. So I will now change to Excel, where I have the database. This is the database that you can download. And we will go step by step codifying each of these, all of this data. So first of all, you can find the question that was asked in the, like on top of the database. You have, like here, the question is, I agree to participate, yes or no? Are you currently a university student, yes or no? To which gender do you identify? So you have all of this around here, right? So maybe first thing you can do, take your time and familiarize with all the questions, take a look at them, and then maybe pause the video and take a look at all the questions. The next step to codify all of this data is that we need to actually codify, because SPSS doesn't, well, it will be strange for SPSS to understand what does this mean. It's better if we put everything into numbers, like maybe we don't need to write PhD, bachelor. We can just do, we should put it in numbers and not in words. So that's one point of codifying, to change it from words to numbers. And the other thing is that also when we codify, we also need to clean the data if the data is not fine. So let's go step by step doing that thing, doing the coding. So first of all, again, as everything, this is just suggestion, but my suggestion is that you add one line. So you have the question on top, and then we add one line, because also for SPSS it can be complicated if you add like a very large thing. So we usually use like a smaller number or a smaller name, not like the large sentence. So for example, for this variable, are you currently a university student? Maybe I can call this variable CUR as current or something like that. I just need to remember what it means. I usually use only 3 letters and I keep that, but again, it's just a suggestion. It's okay if you write current, it's still fine, but my suggestion is keep it simple. So let's write it like CUR, CUR. So let's go step by step. Once you add that line, we will work on every column when we codify every column, but let's go step by step. First, we have this column of I agree to participate. We can call it PIR, participate. And remember, it's very important when you do a survey that you ask for consent on the participation. That's basically what this question is about. So what I want to check is if there is nobody who actually responded no. I want to check if there is someone, because if someone answered no, I should take out that observation. But no, we don't really have that. We don't have anyone who answered no. So what I can do, maybe to facilitate, and then another thing you can do to check quickly if somebody said no, is you go to data and you open and you click on filter. So now all of your, now you can click on all the headings and you can get this menu where you will find relevant information. We will use it later. It's very useful. So as you can see, there is nothing with no. So that's very good. All of our observations, all of our respondents, they agreed. So maybe what I can do is I can just delete this column because I don't really need it. I cannot do anything with that in the analysis. It's relevant because of ethical reasons, but I am sure that everyone agreed. The next variable is actually relevant because we are starting to ask these control variables. Do you remember from the quantitative lecture that I told you that it's important to ask control variables? Like, we need to make our model robust. So it's not good enough to only have like a very thin model between the dependent and independent. We want to have more robustness in our model. So that's why we include these control variables. And we have, I think, six control variables. And the first one is if this person is currently a student. Remember that in this practice, we are asking if, or we want to understand what makes university students happy. So I think it's relevant to know if they are currently a student. So, but the answers are yes or no. So we need to fix that. We're not fix, but codify that, because it is important to input a number and not the word yes or no on SPSS. So to do that, again, there are many ways of doing it, but what I think is very efficient is to select all of these answers. So you select that, and then you go to here in home, you go to find and select, you click on the small arrow and you go to replace. And here you will tell Excel, find what? Find yes, and replace yes with 1. So everything in here, all the yes will be now ones. So SPSS will understand that if it is 1, it means that that person is a student. Also, we need to remember that maybe if you want, you can also put a note in here so you don't forget that 1 means yes, this person is a student. We do the same for no. So we do no, but now instead of 1, we change it to 0. So this is what we call a dummy variable, a variable that it's only 1 or 0. And if you saw, because I did it very quick, but if you saw the change, there were only 12 people who were not students. So it's interesting to know that. Let's move to the next one. The next one is gender. So for gender, we have female, male, but we also have other options. If you click in here, we have prefer not to say, and we also have something strange in there. But what we can do is that we do the coding based on female or male. That's one way we can do. So for example, we can say it's 1 if it is female and 0 everything else. We can do it like that. Or another thing you can do is you can say 1 female, 2 male, 3 prefer not to say, blah, blah. In this sample, there are not many prefer not to say. It's actually mostly male and female. So what we can do is to select everything and then go to find and select. And I will write female, replace with 1. So then all females are 1, right? So here it is. And what happened? I think I did something wrong. So find and replace, female, replace to 1, replace of now it works. So all females are 1. Then I will do the same for male. Now males equal 0. So because the logic is 1 means female, 0 everything else. I will replace, and then I will find the others that are not male. So I will change manually. You can do it manually because there are not that many, to 0. All of this to 0. And now you can see I have all of this in 1 and 0. And I forgot to name my variable, but maybe in here I can write fem, like female. So I remember that this means that 1 is female, that 1 is current. So that's what you can do. Then the next step is for age, because this is a question. How old are you? So this is very good. We don't have to actually code anything because age is already in years. So we don't really need to code for anything. So we just call it straight away age, and we don't need to make any changes. Maybe we can take a look and see if there are strange numbers, but not really. The youngest is 19 and the oldest is 36. So it's actually quite nice sample of students. Then the next one is which year did you start your current or last studied program? So this is also nice because we don't need to call anything. We can call this YEA, like year. And let's check if there is nothing strange. Not really. So it's quite nice. For 2014, the oldest one, and 2023. So that's fine. Then another one that we will actually have to code. This says, are you studying or did you study at Jönköping University? We also want to control the university. So let's call this uni for university. And we do the same. This is also a dummy variable. It's yes or no. There's nothing in between yes or no. So we will do yes, 1, replace all, and no, 0. So you can see in this sample, it's quite nice. Like more or less half of them are from the Jönköping University and more or less half of them are not. Then the next question is, on which level are you currently studying or did you study? This is a very interesting question because here we have bachelor, master's, other, and PhD. So this type of variable, if you remember the quantitative lecture, this is what we will call a categorical variable, where we have different categories, but that they are ranked as you can imagine, because bachelor comes first, master comes second, PhD comes first. You study first bachelor, you study second master's, you study third a PhD. So this is kind of a ranking variable where you have, there are different categories, but one comes before the other. But maybe you are confused because we have other. That's a bit confusing, other. So sometimes we have this like bachelor first, master second, PhD first, that's very clear, but what about other? The nice thing is that we can code other as 0, and SPSS will know that that is something out of that ranking that doesn't actually go in that order of the 1, 2, 3. So let's code it like that. Let's code bachelor first, let's code master second, PhD third, and other, we will code it as 0. So let's do the coding, and we do the same thing as always. So we select everything, replace, I will start with bachelor or 1. Then I will do masters for 2. And then I will do PhD for 3. And then I will do other for 0. And then everything is coded, right? 0, 1, 2, and 3. And I will call this LEB, as in level. And I would like to stop the video in here because the next points are about the actual questions that matter, the happiness and the motivation to study and the balance between studying and personal life. So let's do that in the second video. It's almost the same thing, but I think we can do like a quick video and then I will jump to SPSS in the next video.